Welcome to the Windy City Bender Podcast with your hosts, Nolly, Poetzy, and Jarom.
Hey there, everybody. Welcome to episode 3 of the Windy City Bender Podcast. It's me, Poetzy, along with Nolly and Jarom.
How's it going?
Thanks for joining us for our third episode. Got quite a bit on the docket today, starting out with some Hawks talk. Hawks. Some Hawks. So that was real Chicago just then. Some Hawks talk. Some
full of sausage.
Yeah, and then we're going to have some NHL talk and go right into the playoffs, Jer.
And a little bit of riding pine, because why not?
Finish out with riding pine. Happy Cinco de Mayo.
Hey.
Hola.
We're
Cinco de Mayo.
Cinco de Mayo. And we are celebrating with Labatt Blue.
Yeah. Good old American, Mexican, Canadian Cinco de Mayo.
Pilsner.
Labatt Blue. Which
Ferda.
is made in America. I always
Yes.
forget that it's made in America.
But it is Canadian.
But it's a Canadian beer.
Is it in Michigan?
So,
Oh, Buffalo.
I don't know.
Buffalo.
Which is basically Canada. Can we trade Buffalo for, like, Winnipeg or something? I mean, I'd take the trade.
Yeah.
I'd take it.
All right. Anyway.
Yeah, anyway.
It's because Eichel's only a number 2.
We're going to jump right into Hawks talk. We forgot to mention this last week, but we're going to hit it right now. The Hawks signed forward David Kampf to a 2-year entry-level deal. David is a 22-year-old who played for the last 4 years at Chomutov Piroti, which is how Google Translate says it, in the Czech Extraliga.
Nailed it.
I did.
Extra Liga?
Extraliga.
Okay.
Yeah.
Didn't do too bad this past season.
No, he did not.
Also, he's 6'2", 192.
Big boy.
Big
boy. But,
Big boy. Maybe a net front presence kind of thing. You know, Joe Quenneville loves that net front presence.
Oh, yeah, with the Brian Bickles and Andrew Shaws.
Okay. And the Ryan Hartmans.
Ryan Hartmans, yeah. But, yeah, this year he had 36 points in 35 games, or he had that at the junior level playing for Czech, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
And then this year he had 15 goals, 16 assists in 52 games, which was a little bit better than last year where he had 9 goals, 4 assists in 42 games his rookie year out in the Czech league.
And his playoff numbers, we could have totally used that this year. 15 playoff games, 3 goals, 7 assists for 10 points.
Yeah.
Beats our team.
Yeah. Doesn't beat Pecorine, though.
No, it does not. Probably.
But I was looking and I was seeing pretty much he's going to go straight to Rockford and be a depth guy there for a little bit.
I could see that happening.
Yeah. I mean, there's not much room on the offensive end.
No.
And there's so much
clearly,
supposed young talent in Rockford right now.
Clearly, Rockford needs some help down there because they just got beat to hell. Sorry, Dylan Alexander, but they just got beat to hell.
How much for those season tickets, bud?
A couple interesting facts that I found out about the Czech Extraliga. Playing there currently. Sorry.
No, you're good.
Playing there currently right now is one of the guys that was in one of the best trades of all time.
Depends on what side you were on.
As a fan's perspective, it's one of the best trades of all time. Marty Erat playing in the Czech Extraliga.
So it's not that great.
No,
and they
no,
only
it's not.
score empty net goals, huh?
Yeah. Former Blackhawk superstar Milan Bartovic. You guys remember him?
No.
Yeah. He had a solid. You want to know why? Because he played in 24 games only.
Oh man.
With a solid
That's
1
a
goal
good
and
number.
6 assists.
Also, Kempney.
Kempney is from there, yes. Marcel Hossa also currently plays in that league.
Nice.
Marcel. Tuukka Rask, Hajduk, and Dominik Hasek and Ales Hemsky are also former players from that league. So, turns out a couple pretty good hockey players.
I guess it's the top league in that country, too.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean,
He's
that's a good
putting up
sign.
31 points in the top league. I mean, that's very
Not
good
too bad.
bottom 6 guy.
The only thing that's a bit iffy for me is the plus-minus. I mean, I get that plus-minus is kind of a...
I'm not a big fan.
No.
Yeah.
I don't think
A
it's
lot of people-
relevant stat.
But minus 11, minus 6, minus 9. It's a bit iffy for me, but, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll get better when he's on the Hawks. So
All I heard was 31 points.
Yeah. So in order for me to look up everything about this guy, I had to go through Google Translate, and it translated everything on the homepage. And this was how Google translated the Czech article into American about David Kampf coming to the Blackhawks. You guys ready for this? Done! Exclamation point. The first Hummerton puppy signed a contract in the NHL.
First puppy to sign in the
We got
NHL.
the dog. Wow. Blackhawks.
Super confused about what the similarity of puppy and, I don't know, rookie, child, young man, maybe?
I think
The young
he
pup?
just
Young pup? I
is
don't know.
a product of poor Google translation.
Yeah, probably. I just thought that was hilarious, though. So not only did the Hawks sign David Kampf, but they made a signing that I was made unaware of until I was looking up. I literally typed in Hawks sign, and Nathan Noel came up. I was like, who the hell is Nathan Noel?
Yeah, I didn't know until you told me before.
Mhm.
I would say like 15 minutes before we started recording, you told me, and I was like, oh.
We're on
So-
our stuff here, folks.
So
Yeah.
this is
We're on top of it.
So this is another Poetzy conversation right here because I got nothing to add to this one.
Yeah, I'll just finish my beer.
The Hawks signed the 2016 fourth rounder Nathan Noel to a 3-year deal. Nathan is playing in the QMJHL for the St. John's Sea Dogs.
Sea Dog.
He's been there for the past 4 years. He like I said, plus minus is an iffy statistic nowadays.
Yeah.
However, when you rock a minus 31, I don't think it becomes an iffy statistic. I think that means you had a rough year on defense.
That's an exclamation mark right there.
Yes, there's the exclamation mark right there. However, that was in 2013-2014. He has consistently put up over 40 points in 60-plus games played for the past 4 years. So,
that's also an exclamation mark.
Mhm.
So
and he was a plus 19 this past season with 24 goals and 26 assists.
we started to figure it out.
I thought you were going to say something about the number 24.
I mean,
so.
you guys brought it up. I didn't.
I mean, so sounds like he can hold his own.
Yeah.
Maybe potentially be a, I don't know, low profile guy that just kind of comes out of nowhere. You know,
Sneaks in and gets some points up.
some more help for Rockford for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely a lot of help for Rockford.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah, the Hawks need to start finding those types of guys because, I mean, looking at Pittsburgh, I feel like Pittsburgh's starting to become a better Hawks than the Hawks are, as in keeping their core guys set, like Crosby, Malkin, and now Kessel and Letang, but finding those low-key third, fourth line guys that just put up numbers. Like last year, I know he's hurt right now, but last year, Connor Sheary had an unreal playoff. Like he played last season, in the regular season, he had 44 games played. He had 10 points. In the playoffs, he had 23 games played. He also had 10 points. So, I mean, in half the games, he put up the same amount of numbers. And then this year, just Jake Gensel. He's got 9 games played, 8 goals, 4 assists for 12 points, and 3 G-dubs. So, I mean...
And he's getting those bounces, too.
Oh, yeah.
Gensel. Like, that he just threw that puck towards the net. There was no other Penguin in sight.
Yeah.
And it went off of Dmitry Orlov in it.
Yeah, but I mean, they're both of the... I mean, last year, Sheary, just watching him play, he was... Not just point-wise, but he was playing like he wasn't a rookie. And same with Gensel this year. I mean, both of them... I guess when you get thrown in a line with Crosby or Malkin or Kessel,
Sheary,
but...
Sheary's last year, 7 goals, 3 assists, 10 points. This year, 23 goals, 30 assists, 53 points in 61 games.
Yeah.
Like, if he didn't get hurt this year, I mean, he would probably could have been up there.
Yeah. Which, I mean, like I said, they're kind of doing what the Hawks do, but hopefully some of these guys start turning into a Sheary Gensel for the Hawks so that they can start trying to go to the final 2 years in a row like they almost did a couple years ago.
Another thing about the Penguins, we were talking about how Rockford this year just got trampled upon.
Mm-hmm.
It's been 16 years since Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins, their AHL affiliate, has missed the playoffs. 16 years. They haven't been under 500 for 16 years. They've gone to the conference final 4 times in the past 16 years. Haven't won it in the finals, though. But still, like 16.
They've
never won the Calder Cup.
No. Yeah,
but still, 16 straight years of going into the playoffs and having some stupid numbers. I mean, 51 wins, 47, 49, 58 in 80 games.
That's like
51 in 76 games.
That's like Detroit's streak almost.
Yeah.
You know? That just shows
that's crazy.
You got to question kind of like the whole mindset lately with Bowman and the team in general is the trade deadlines. You know, they seem to be mortgaging the future for one possible season.
They keep trying to make it that, oh, this is our last year at a cup. Let's just throw everything we got at it. And the last 2 years it didn't work. I mean, we didn't.
Which how many times are they going to say that before we're like, all right?
This deadline, we didn't get anybody, right?
I mean, it was Arduya, but I mean, we didn't give
much. We didn't give
this
much
was
for that. But I mean, last year getting Ladd, like that didn't work out. I mean, I loved Ladd, but it's just
such a terrible trade.
It wasn't necessary.
Terrible trade.
Yeah, I mean, just trading away picks, trading away top prospect defensemen.
Yep.
Which we definitely need right now.
Which, I mean, and then glad this year at the draft they'll have 10 picks in the 7 rounds.
Yeah, which I thought, for some reason, I thought that they didn't have a first round, which I thought would have been hilarious.
They said he made it clear that he was not trading the first round pick.
But I thought he did, and I was just like, they're going to host, and they're not going to have
We talked about that somewhere, where we saw something that there was no first-round draft pick for the Hawks. I don't know where we saw that from, though.
Yeah, I just looked it up, and I was like, what? When did we get that back?
Yeah.
What happened? But
the way he talks sometimes when he gets, that stir-crazy, like, oh, shit, where are we at kind of thing, I'm like, oh, he's going to trade that top pick, and we're going to have nothing at the United Center.
Yeah. Sometimes I'm wrong.
We all make mistakes.
Yeah, well,
everybody gets one.
That's why we're drinking.
So we can have an excuse.
Yeah. So are we just not used to the Hawks being done this soon in the off season? Or is it a little bit concerning that not much is going on with?
Is it not much is going on, or so much happened so quick that that's a good point.
I mean, it's a great point.
They announced that changes are happening. They came out. Bowman said we need to, make some changes, and they're going to happen this season. Assistant coach gets fired. AHL coach gets fired. Darling gets traded, and then they sign these 2 kids. Mm-hmm. And now it's like, well, nothing happened this week. Why isn't anything happening? It's like the playoffs are still going on. It's a long summer.
I think we're spoiled. I think. Usually we're used to going to the Western Conference Finals,
we wish we were the Eastern Conference.
the Stanley Cup Finals.
Honestly, do we though?
No, yeah. But we're used to going there, and then it's literally 2 weeks, 3 weeks maybe. Then it's the draft, and then a week after that is free agency start, and then as soon as you know it's September, I think we're actually kind of getting spoiled too a little bit.
Oh yeah. I mean, I know we got knocked out first round last season.
At least that went 7 games.
Yeah, this is a sweep. This is the earliest we've been out in a long time. Yeah. So I mean, it's just we've got
since '91. I think is what I said. 91 or 92. Whenever we got swept by the Blues.
92 is the final. So I guess
so it was 91. Yeah.
So I mean,
it's just weird not having I'm used to going online. I'm used to going on Twitter or I read Hockey Buzz a lot just to see what's going on, and I'm just used to being 4 or 5 Blackhawk fans, but it's nope, nothing. Check-in.
We say that nothing's going on with the Blackhawks. However, they dropped a bomb yesterday that until May 8th, they're giving away jerseys.
18th.
Jerseys, May 18th?
Yeah.
Oh my God, we got time, folks.
Buy one, get one free.
Buy one, get one free jerseys.
Blackhawk store.
Yeah. Buy one, get one free jerseys at any Blackhawk store. You have to actually be in the store, though, I think.
So,
I don't think you can go online.
Yeah, bye. Yeah. So, Blackhawks, hook us up for the free promo.
Yeah.
We'll take a jersey.
To all 5 of our fans.
All right, so Scott Darling.
That's what we're using.
Scott. Okay, yeah, we're all going to drink now.
All gone.
Scotty Darling gets signed to a pretty nice contract for the former backup goaltender.
It's
4 years.
Exactly what I was thinking would happen.
4 years, 400, around
4.15 million.
4.15 million.
400 million.
compared to the 1.175 that he's made for the past 2 years. So Scott Darling is a happy man.
And he's got that limited no trade clause too.
Mm-hmm.
It's exactly what he wanted when he had said that I'm ready to move on.
Yep, absolutely. And it sounds like, Zach, I think you said Ward and Lack
Are
going to be...
Yeah, potentially now they can have the option of exposing both of them into the expansion draft, which
is a good move.
It's a great move.
Because it's like, whoever's more attractive, please take one of them so we can figure out what our situation is going to be. And I think now they got a great situation where they can dangle these two goalies out and see...
They
don't have a great situation.
What happens, though, if Vegas goes... Yeah.
Well,
Cam Ward,
they could.
Eddie Lack, we're going to pass. Now you got 3. What do you do at that point?
I don't think Vegas is going to take either of them, but I think this is going to open up. I think Carolina's going to show their hand a little bit on who they prefer. No matter what, they're going to have to eat money on whoever they make a move to. One of these guys are leaving the team.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I think potentially Ward would probably be a better option.
It'd be the smarter option.
It would be, especially for a team.
I feel like it's harder to move Ward.
Right. With that 3.
I feel like you're getting a better return for Ward though than you would.
Because if you got it, if you have a young
compared to Eddie Lack, you're gonna get a better return for Ward, especially after the year that he had this year. He had a pretty good year.
I still think that if you got a young goalie that you think he might be ready for that starter role, Ward would be a good goalie to bring in
to throw in front of him.
Yes, in the kind of like teach.
But that's not
who has that goalie setup right now.
Vancouver might be an option.
I was hearing Elliott might go there.
Oh,
which Elliott Ward?
Yeah. No. All right. So I said he had a good year. He had
a good year for being on the Hurricanes.
Being
that's
Carolina
I believe we said
Hurricane.
the first. Yeah, I believe that's
26 and 22 with a 269 and a 905, 2 shutouts.
Which isn't bad.
Not terrible.
It's not bad.
Not terrible. Numbers are actually down from last year. He had 23 wins in less games played, and a 241 and a 909. So
about the same.
About the same.
I think they're gonna have to bite the bullet, and they're gonna have to pay just under $8 million for 2 goalies. They're gonna have to move Lack, and I think they're just gonna have to put up with Ward. Yeah. Maybe see somebody around the deadline, a playoff team that might need a goalie.
Oh my God, $7 million between Darling and Ward.
It's still not Dallas.
Eddie Lack 8-7 with a 264 and a 902.
He only was 8-7
in 18 games.
He was hurt. He was hurt.
He was hurt. Yeah. He had a concussion.
Yeah. He had two, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he came back and got another one.
And he gets thrown under the bus by his coach.
Yeah, that's
in the year that he's had a concussion.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's rough. So, which also makes me feel like they might want to move Lack more just because of the coaching.
I think it'll be easier to move Lack right now.
Yeah.
I think towards the deadline it'll be easier to move Ward.
Yeah.
Sorry, we keep going back to the Carolina.
Honestly, God, who thought that we would talk about Carolina so much?
Yeah.
Well, they take Chicago's favorite son. You know, we got to talk about it.
What? Brian Bickle, Scott Darling, Taco Tuesday,
Nordstrom.
Yeah.
Hey, but we're getting
at one point.
Well, hopefully they don't take our big one coming in though.
Don't they have Stahlberg too?
No,
he's in Ottawa.
Yeah, he went to Ottawa.
He was there for a little bit this year, right? Or
I think
last season. I don't know.
Yeah, he was there at one point. I don't know when he left though. Let's hope that Carolina doesn't swoop in and steal good old Alex DeBrincat.
Oh God!
Anybody's gonna steal
Alex DeBrincat.
Give him the $10 million.
Oh
no! Don't do that ever. No. This kid, man. He won the what was the award?
Most outstanding player.
Basically the
MVP of the O, which is awesome, and it's awesome to hear.
Here's his numbers.
I know. Here we go. So he had this season. He had 63 games played, 65 goals, 62 assists.
Oh God, I threw up.
If you're a big plus minus guy like your boy Poets over here, he was a plus 60 this season.
Woo! Love it. Put him on Canner's line right now.
He had 65 goals this year, 51 the year before, 51 the year before. So I mean, he's a 50-goal scorer.
And the thing that kind of excites me the most is the fact that after McDavid had left that first year, he had 51 goals, 53 assists, 104 points. DeBrincat. Everyone's like, McDavid left, though. DeBrincat's nothing.
Yeah.
He goes and puts 51 goals, 50 assists for 101 points, and then breaks the record this year with 65, 62, and 127.
Yeah. But
outstanding.
Honestly, was it McDavid or was McDavid and DeBrincat so good because of Dylan Strome? Because that kid, he's so sick. He totally could have had a chance to play with the Coyotes this season.
Really rough.
They just had too much talent on that team.
Really rough.
Fuck.
He's a small guy, though.
He's itty bitty teeny.
5'7", 165 pounds.
So was Kane, though.
I know. I'm just like, that's...
Alex DeBrincat had a total of 158 points this year, including playoffs. That's
fast math.
That's dumb.
That's including his one goal at World Juniors.
He didn't play World Junior.
Under 20.
Oh, under
yes.
20.
No,
Oh, okay.
No, that was 15-16. Never mind.
Oh,
so I was going to say, he got
you're right.
He got hurt. USA won without him. Can you imagine what they would have done with him?
Probably won gold or something.
Yeah, because he was
they would have won double gold.
He was cut pretty early in the
Probably
process,
wouldn't have gone to the shootout.
That I have a conspiracy about that. They just wanted to show off college hockey and show off that it's better than going to junior, or a better option than going to junior. Which, I mean, they did well. Obviously, they won gold.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, they throw those commercials on NHL Network all the time.
Oh, yeah.
NCAA hockey, that's the place to be now.
Yeah.
You know? I'm going to go ahead, set my beer down.
Get another beer ready for him.
I am going to absolutely lose my mind because I'm going to start talking about goaltender interference.
We get it. You're a goalie. You like goalie stuff. Whatever.
All right, I'm going to stand up too because I'm mad.
God.
I'm mad.
You gonna throw down on me?
I might. I should buckle my pants first. All right.
Why were they unbuckled?
Because I'm a fat piece of crap.
All right.
All right.
Get personal here.
Edmonton Oilers, Anaheim Ducks, Game 4. Edmonton is up 2-0 after one period of play. Dominating period. Anaheim comes out, guns a-blazing in the second period. 1 minute and, quick math, for 37 seconds.
Wow.
Thank you. 1 minute and 37 seconds into the second period. Getzlaf throws a puck on net. Corey Perry goes through the crease.
No.
Well, not through the crease.
No.
Sorry, through the slot.
Through the slot.
Really close to the top of the crease. Bri, you're going to have to help me here because I'm going to say things I don't mean, and you're going to have to correct me.
I don't know what that means.
Just do what you just did because
All right.
I'm going to be biased.
Okay. I'm going to...
Corey Perry moves his fat ass through the slot.
Be
Shut
nice.
up.
Don't
Come
be
on.
rude.
Yeah. Don't.
Everybody loves Corey Perry.
Corey Perry moves through the slot, bumps into the skate, quote unquote, of Cam Talbot.
Wait, pause. Corey Perry facts. He sits down to pee. Go ahead.
Bumps into Cam Talbot's skate, and then, with his butt, bumps into his blocker, just as Getzlaf releases the puck, and it goes blocker side on Cam Talbot.
Good goal.
Shut up! Shut up!
Really sparked that comeback.
I have zero feelings towards this game. I could care less whether Anaheim wins or Edmonton wins. Of course, I picked Edmonton to win, but if Anaheim wins,
you want Edmonton?
I would like Edmonton to win this game, or this series. But I could care less what happened. Like, my life is not going to change no matter what.
Apparently, it will.
I was so stupidly mad when they called this a good goal. I was so freaking upset. Okay. They said that the reason that this is called a good goal is because Cam Talbot's right skate is outside of the crease, which it is.
So
totally is. Go ahead and say what it is.
The exact ruling, it's Rule 78, Protection of Goalkeeper, Part B. If an attacking player initiates any contact other than incidental contact with the goalkeeper while the goalkeeper is outside of his goal crease and a goal is scored, the goal will be disallowed. So, by that ruling, technically Perry touching Talbot's skate incidentally outside of the crease is a good goal.
Totally fine with that.
Understandable.
Totally fine with that. We're only looking at his foot, though.
Yeah.
What happens
That's
when his ass goes off of Talbot's blocker, which is inside of the crease, and moves the blocker towards his chest and opens up that hole for Getzlaf to shoot at?
That's exactly what, watching everybody talk about it over and over, NBCSN, NHL Network, everybody's talking about it, and it's like, okay, they made the right ruling. Well, yeah, they made the right ruling on the skate part.
On the
Yeah.
skate!
Nobody's looking at
But
the
not the blocker.
Yeah.
And you can't tell me. I feel like this needs to be like a brutal check where you look at past history. Corey Perry. You're telling me that Corey Perry is going to... Yep, you better move your bear. Move him. Move everything. You're telling me that Corey Perry just happened to come that close to Cam Talbot, just happened to bump into his blocker and move it the opposite direction of where the puck is going? You're telling me that Corey Perry just happened to do all of that? No, that is absolute crap.
He's
absolute crap.
He's low-key the, I would say, biggest instigator in a way in the NHL as of late, like the past 5 years at least, about getting away with the minor shit like that.
And that goal should not have counted, and you know the goal should not have counted because of one reason and one reason only. When they announced it was a good goal, Randy Carlyle did a fist bump.
I didn't see that.
When your coach on the bench goes, "Oh shit, nice! I didn't think we'd get that one." Should not be a goal.
That's not fair. I mean, they're down 2-0. It's a big playoff game.
Yeah,
I would be pumped too if it's a goal.
Hashtag pumped.
I think that's just goalie bias right there. Come on.
So shut up. Oh God, it's infuriating. The officiating has been so bad. Talk about what Cam Talbot said before I go off tangent.
Well, I mean, technically, the officiating was right.
I wish we had video right now.
Yeah. So after the game, Talbot, they interviewed him and asked him about the goal, and he said, "I try to play with integrity in my game. I'm not a guy who's going to flop and dive and try to get calls. But if those are the goals that are going to count when I'm trying my best to make a save, then maybe I do have to flop and dive and get those calls like all the other guys." Which, one, all the other guys, wow. Mm-hmm. Wow. Fucking dropping the hammer.
Two, go ahead and tell that to Corey Crawford, Game 3, when he gets bumped into by, I always forget, I think it was Arvidsson, maybe Fisher? Forsberg, you're right, it was Forsberg. Tell that to Corey Crawford.
Out of my mind.
Yeah, I know.
I have a hard time with Crawford with bumps and stuff because he picks the wrong time to flop and then he picks the wrong time to react to it.
He can't win.
Because there was a couple years ago against LA, he got bumped and he didn't do anything. And then he got bumped again and he goes after the guy. Play's still going on, wide open net.
Oh, no, that was St. Louis.
Yeah,
that was St. Louis last year against Robbie Fabry.
I think something happened with LA then too, like similar to that because there was like...
He almost got in a fight with Quick in 2014.
Right.
Yeah. That was great, where he shook the gloves when they were going on.
Legit pressing wide. So yeah, that's the goalie interference.
No, I'm going to keep going with the officiating, though. Goaltender's interference. Okay. The last thing I'm going to say about goalie interference. There's no way.
Sure. It won't come up again later? You promise?
Probably not.
It depends on how many goaltender interference will be said.
It depends on how many beers I have today. I feel like it can't be up to the referee's discretion anymore. There needs to be some sort of off-ice official or whoever they call in Toronto. It has to be at their discretion because every referee has a different thought process on what determines that as a good goal.
Yeah, I mean,
this goes to...
That's why so much has happened in this playoff season where we're like, why? That is the exact opposite of what I thought would be called. Should not be called that way.
NHL needs to look at how reffing and officiating and all the rules in general because it just feels like every single thing is just absolutely garbage now.
Absolutely. Yeah. This Getzlaf goal, how many rules contradicted themselves in this Getzlaf goal?
I read all the goalie protection rules and I felt like once I read something a little bit later, what they said earlier doesn't count. Mm-hmm. Like it just makes it just goes away.
Like insane.
The rule about the skate outside the crease.
And can we?
Okay, that makes sense. And then it was like the blocker. I don't know. There's so many rules that it's just
his right skate is outside the crease.
It's half outside the crease.
Literally, it's the last quarter of his heel is inside the crease. Yeah. And it's like his whole body is, if anything, he should be out further because that shot was coming from the point. Like, speaking from a goalie's perspective, he was pretty deep.
He saw Perry coming. He's like, goalie interference for sure.
Yeah, I know.
Let's talk about the crease in general.
Terrible.
Does the crease even matter? I mean, like, does the crease matter? Because you think about how many goals are scored
Clearly
with
it does
players
now.
in the crease. Like,
Yeah.
I felt after Buffalo Dallas, the crease rule just disappeared.
Well,
It's yeah.
Phil Forsberg cutting through.
Yeah.
I mean, because Corey Crawford wasn't in the crease, he was able to do that.
I
that's-
truly thought that the only reason the crease is still on the ice is because if they took away the blue paint, it would just throw out.
The goalies don't know where they
Yeah,
are.
and they just throw away like the traditional ice rink look.
Mhm. All right, so I'm going to transition from goalie interference to just brutal officiating. Edmonton goes and they challenge, which they rightfully should have. Lose that challenge. Go down, or it's 2-1 Edmonton at this point. Anaheim comes back, and they make it a 2-2 game
Offsides.
on an offsides play, and Edmonton can't challenge because they lost their challenge because of a shitty call by officiating.
Should the NHL adopt multiple challenges?
I don't think they should.
They're having a hard enough time to have one chance.
I just... That's the importance of the officials getting
But
the call right the
here's
first
the-
time.
The thing is, the challenge I'm not that big of a fan of, because as much as it sucks being on the losing end of like an offsides type thing, all of those are so close. The refs do their absolute best job, I hope.
Right.
That
And that one
the
was a very
minor-
close one. I'll give
the-
them that. That one was very close.
those type of plays are part of the game. Like human failure is
Yeah.
part of the game, I feel, and it should continue to be part of the game.
But you know what? When you start introducing instant replay
But that's
and
not fair.
and that aspect of it, people start to make that the standard.
Yeah, but what are you gonna do? Every goal,
I agree.
Go back
Well,
and
that's
watch.
gonna say-
I
was gonna
completely
say,
agree.
Like all
You could-
that. It's
well,
just,
I
it gets
totally
too
agree.
much.
That's why it's
NFL
great that there's only
the
one
NFL
challenge.
adapted that every scoring play gets challenged. It's not like they sit there and the rest go on the ice. They have a person, and I don't know where they do because I don't know what their Toronto is. But they have someone in there. As soon as the play scores, someone starts looking at the play to see if there's anything there, and there's a signal given to the field.
Yeah.
Should there be something like that? A guy in Toronto that as soon as that puck goes in,
Well, isn't
and somebody looks
Isn't every goal supposed to be looked over at in Toronto anyway?
Yeah, but not offside.
not offsides?
Do they adopt that then?
That's what I'm saying.
I
Do
don't
they
think
need?
So I don't think that they should. I mean, comparing. I don't
Okay.
like comparing two sports because they're so different.
Right? No, I know. I was just
Oh, no,
giving,
I know,
I'm
yeah.
just giving the example.
I
of-
understand, but I'm just saying, like, not to compare them and contradict myself, but scoring a touchdown in a game and then scoring a goal is completely different. you
No,
know?
yeah.
Right. There's
There's
four
so
or
much
five,
emotion,
4 or 5
there's so much-
touchdowns every game.
Yeah, there's just so
Right.
much that goes into it, and I don't like that.
So-
Personally, I'm not a
Right.
fan of that.
But I kind of personally wouldn't mind if there was somebody in Toronto. As soon as the goal goes in, the camera goes on. They start looking
And
because you know what? I rather have them it be
Get
two.
every call right.
Yes, I rather there be 2
Absolutely.
seconds and have the game go
But
like.
think about it. You're in a big game. Say there's a minute left in the game. You just tie it up 3-3. The Hawks tie it up 3-3. You score the goal. You selly. You start going down the line, and the refs come up to you and go, "Oh, that wasn't a real goal."
Sucks.
There's no. Yeah, it sucks.
Sorry.
I mean, there's no difference
That
then
sucks.
if they go and Toronto calls it anyways. Like those times there's goals.
That's exactly what happened
There's no
in 2013.
difference. Yeah, it's just adding.
The Hawks...
Yeah, and
Jaromson
how pissed
Jaromson
off were you
scored.
about that?
I was ready to get my mob and go to the United Center,
Exactly.
but Seabrook scored and saved that
but
referee's
that's
life.
still
But
about.
that won't happen every game.
No, and you know what? And it's unfortunate for Edmonton because they played a shitty second period.
Yeah.
Their
So
first period was unbelievable.
first period was great.
They
Did they
should
blow?
have been up more
Okay,
than 2-0.
we're gonna end up
Which-
talking about this in a little bit, so
Yeah.
maybe we should just kind of put it
Yeah,
in
let's
the
And
back.
also, I want to go back to 2-0 blown leads.
Oh
that's
yes,
awesome.
absolutely.
But going back to
Absolutely.
shitty officiating embellishment.
Which kind of contradicts. Well, not contradicts, but it's kind of like.
It kind of goes
It-
into
what-
what Cam Talbot said.
Yeah,
because-
exactly.
Yes,
Exactly.
Yes. And I just am so rattled about this because I don't remember what game it was, but PK Subban got hit from behind, took a cross check to the back of the head, and got called for embellishment because he grabbed his head. I understand Subban can be kind of a drama queen, but in that instance, he took a cross check to the back of the head. That's just instinct to grab your head when you
Right.
get hit in the head. I mean, that's... And I don't know. And then last night, Benino.
Bonino.
Yeah. Fucking. There's about a minute 30, 2 minutes left in the game. Caps are down by 1. Oshie goes to make a stick lift, misses the stick, gets Bonino in the shoulder. Bonino throws his head back and grabs his face like he's cut. Ref was at not a bad angle, but he was in the corner and Bonino's back was to him, so he didn't see if it hit his face or not. And Oshie got a penalty and probably ruined their chance to make
instead of having a
comeback.
6-on-5, they had a 5-on-5.
Were down, yeah. And it's just like I feel like anytime a stick's up near somebody's face, they're throwing their head back. Because why not? Maybe you'll get the penalty. And how often is it going to get called that you'll get an embellishment for it?
I know we don't play the same level as NHL, but I know ever since Blue the Visor, and anytime I think it was near my face, I'm diving. I'm throwing my face away. I'm not.
Yeah, well, I wear nothing, and I still I don't do that.
But, okay, so.
In that situation, why isn't he getting fined? Why isn't he getting suspended?
So here, do you want me to play the clip real quick? And we kind of talk about it. Just right into it. Okay, so this is Mike Johnson. He was on NHL Network talking about the Bonino situation and.
Bonino.
Hey, yeah, if you were here, you would have heard Jarom do it.
I wish there was some mechanism that they could go back, watch a tape like that, and fine. I'd like to be able to suspend a guy for one game.
Yeah.
If you deliberately and very clearly fool the referees like that by faking contact that did not occur.
So Johnson thinks a player should get suspended for that.
Absolutely.
It's a great point.
Or fined.
They already get fined though.
Not always.
It's the first. They get one warning.
Is he getting fined?
I don't know if that's.
Fined for that?
It depends on if he's had a warning. I don't know their system.
Yeah.
You shouldn't get a warning at all. If you do that kind of stuff, you should automatically get a fine, and your second should be a game.
Absolutely.
So we just saw.
And you know what? Especially, I feel like it should be situational as well.
Yeah,
last 2 minutes. It was the last 2 minutes, wasn't it?
Yeah. And like
last 2 minutes of the game against Washington.
We said it was one goal, and it blew their chance of having that comeback.
The penalty should be situational. Like if you're doing this in the first period, like all right, we'll give you $20,000 fine or whatever. Yeah. But if you're last 2 minutes of a pretty crucial playoff game, it's
a bigger fine.
You're gonna be done for.
I can't see them doing.
I don't see
a suspension.
Suspension in the playoffs. I can see regular season. But playoffs.
I think if you get 3, 4, or 5 like warning or like fines or something like that, yeah. But I can't see it being embellishment, fine, kind of thing.
Which I mean, they like you said, they do fine some players, but they don't fine all of them, and they don't announce some of the fines that they do have.
But here's my question, too. Kind of go back to the goalie interference thing. The game happened so quick.
Yep.
I mean, without slowing the game down with a challenge or reviewing it kind of thing, though, I mean, how can you...
No, that's why...
That's what I'm saying. But it's like you can't really say at the same time, though. It's like it happened so quick. The first angle, when I first saw it, I thought he got... just rocked in the face.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like, he didn't get a penalty. Okay, whatever.
He did a great job of selling it.
When you see that slow-mo after the game,
so you're saying, like,
right now he should get fined.
So do you believe that if there should be a review with it during the game and negates the penalty?
No.
Or you still go with the penalty, but then the player gets fined?
Yeah. Because you know what? That's going to take so long.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
Literally every high-sticking penalty at that point.
That's
fair. Well, I don't think I got him. He's just biting his lip,
Yeah.
Could you...
That was great.
Yeah.
Would you like to see the league add penalties to Coach's Challenge?
Penalty to Coach's Challenge.
You mean in place of losing your timeout?
It would be the same rules as how it is now.
So lose your timeout and get a penalty?
No. You can challenge penalties. So a situation like that...
Oh, God, no.
Yeah, no.
No, that would...
No, absolutely not.
Because that's...
No.
NCAA does it, right? You said... Were you the one that told me that?
Yeah. I don't think any coach would use that if they would lose their timeout because they would save it for any goal challenge.
But in a situation, though, I mean, think of a situation too,
yeah, absolutely.
Like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's always situational.
Penalties are situational. Like, you go back to that Pittsburgh game 3. I think it was Malkin going in on a 2-on-1, and who was it? I think Shattenkirk, coming up behind and gave him that hook under the arm, and there was no call. So you could say that maybe throw that in there, but I mean, that just I feel like
that's not fun.
It's not. It takes away from
the
game,
the natural game.
Yeah,
which goes back to leaving the refs alone almost and letting the human error be a part of the game.
With the ref is they're so bad right now, but the scary thing is they're the best at what they do.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
like I don't know if it's because like I've watched like Batman or whatever, but like in the back of my mind, I'm like, there's some sort of conspiracy going on right now with the NHL and referees. Like the Predators are about to go to the conference finals.
Can they be trusted?
Yeah, like I mean,
but you got the whole Weidman thing when Calgary. There was like, I wish I was thinking about this when I was making my notes for the show. There's a stat that Calgary is. Like when it comes to receiving calls in key situations, they are at the bottom of the league because the referees do not want to help out with
Dennis Weidman.
Yeah, because of Weidman.
Which that whole play I felt was kind of overdrawn, but at the same time I understand everything. But we don't have to get into that.
Yeah.
No.
But, all right.
No. All right. Let's
get into.
Let's break it down series by series here.
Let's go. Let's start with
Before we get into that.
Oh,
can we just talk about the 2-goal blow?
Oh yes, okay, yes. I forgot about this. Go.
So. It's just been blowing my mind. It makes me feel there's been 7 2-goal leads blown and 3 series 2-game lead series blown. Is any lead safe?
No,
anymore in the NHL?
No, lead is safe. Home ice doesn't matter anymore.
It's like
our pets' heads are falling off. Like nothing happens. Nothing matters.
I just feel like, NHL, there's not enough scoring. But when you get a 3-goal lead and you blow it, like,
yeah,
that's exciting.
You remember us growing up? The 2-goal lead's the worst league in hockey.
Yeah.
It's got to be like a 4-goal lead.
Oh,
now.
yeah.
So, I mean,
Edmonton.
Looking at these, which I was wondering, okay, so there were 7 2-goal leads, at least 2-goal leads blown.
Yeah.
This playoff. The team that blew the at least 2-goal lead, they're 5-2. Which
so they came back and won. Yeah,
I thought that was nuts. So, starting off, Nashville, St. Louis, game 1. Nashville started the game up 2-0, came back and won 4-3. Game 1, Edmonton, Anaheim. Edmonton was up 3-1. Came back and won 5-3.
That was one of the best hockey games. It really was.
Yeah,
that game was great.
Pens, Caps, game 1. Penguins started up 2-0. Won 3-2. Game 2 of Rangers Ottawa. Rangers were up 3-1. They lost 6-5 in double OT. Hey, thanks, Pajot. Game 3 Anaheim Edmonton again. Anaheim started the game 3-0. Blew that 3-goal lead. That game was crazy too because Anaheim went up 3. Edmonton scored 3 to tie it, and then Anaheim scored 3 to win 6-3.
If Cam Talbot wasn't complete dog shit that day.
Which is the one game in this whole series that he had.
Yeah. I feel like they're up 3-1. Without a doubt.
Game 3 Caps Pens. Caps started 2-0, won 3-2 in OT by Crosby. And Game 4 Edmonton Anaheim. Again, Edmonton started up 2-0, lost 4-3 in overtime, which that Edmonton Anaheim series is just full of blown leads. And then, obviously, Ottawa was up 2-0 in the series. Edmonton was up 2-0 in the series, and Penguins were up 2-0 in the series, and now it's 3-1.
Not to be the bearer of bad news, but didn't the Hawks blow a 2-0 lead in Game 3?
Yes, I was just talking about like this series or
this round.
Yeah.
Okay,
so far.
We might be.
But I didn't go.
Round.
Yeah, and I was already sitting here.
Every round
is
only round
2. But and it's just blew my mind, especially with that, like I said, Anaheim Edmonton series because it happened 3 times.
Yep.
And it happened in the series. Edmonton was up 2-0.
Yeah.
Hockey or NHL just doesn't make sense anymore.
Nothing.
It really doesn't.
No, I feel
you
like
can't count anybody out ever.
Everything we grew up on knowing is just gone out the window.
Which is why it's so hard now when people are like, "Oh, who do you got in this series?" And I'm just like,
I don't know.
I have no idea.
I feel like that meme.
It was like goes Chicago, Nashville. Who honestly, besides Nashville fans, in a million
Dangle.
years,
Steve
thought that they were
Dangle.
the guys
we're
that
going
spit
to
chiclets?
sweep.
Yeah.
Oh, sweep? No.
Sweep.
Nobody.
No.
No,
I feel
no
talking
way.
playoff hockey. I feel like that meme of that little character sitting at his kitchen table. And
This is
his
fine.
house his house is burning down. This is fine.
This is fine.
This is fine.
I feel like every year when we do our brackets, we're just like, guys, this is the hardest that it's ever been.
Yeah, and I still only
Every
got 2
year.
wrong, and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I know, yeah. That,
Well, shut up.
but at the same time, I fucking love this.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
This
This is the
Playoff hockey's the
best time of the year.
nothing.
There's
Nothing compares
absolutely
to it.
nothing.
No.
It's so much fun.
I
I
was
love hockey.
I
just love hockey.
Watching Cubs run. I'm
Yeah.
like, this is great, but I'm like, this is still
Yeah, I know.
boring as shit.
Yeah.
No, I mean, you know what I'm saying. But I mean, compared to a hockey playoff
Yeah.
and baseball
I know.
playoffs, it's like, come on.
All right,
No, I
boys.
understand.
Sid the Kid
Oh god.
back in a normal practice jersey. That's the most important part of
This-
that.
Normal.
Normal
this
practice jersey.
infuriates me so much. And I don't know why, but it does. Because why do the Penguins come out and say, oh, yeah, he has a concussion? Why? What's the point? You don't have to say your player has a concussion. If he's coming back this early, everybody's talking about how the NHL doesn't take care of their players. They don't do a good enough job taking care of head injuries. You come out and say he has a concussion after everybody saw the play a million times. It's the biggest talk of this whole week. And now he's already practicing less than a week later.
And we know what his history is. This
Yeah,
is his
yeah.
second
Exactly.
this year.
Yeah.
And he's the face of the NHL.
Mhm.
Why not
Two
say?
reasons-
Why
two-
not say? Oh, upper body.
Two reasons
Day-to-day.
I think is one, Bush is looking him in the ice. There's no way you cannot be like, okay, yeah, he's got a concussion.
Mm.
Two, I wonder if originally they were trying to milk it for extra discipline. You know,
Which
just trying to get
league,
more. Yeah.
But the league already announced
Right.
before
Yeah.
they said concussion that they
Right.
weren't looking into it
I
at
know.
all.
I think they just.
I don't know. I think they dropped.
I
the
think
ball
it's
and-
more. I think it's more just because there was no way you can look at him and say no. His head's fine. I think it.
Personally, I would have said lower body because everybody was talking about his leg.
Yeah.
And it would have thrown everybody
Ab-
off.
I don't understand why teams don't do that more.
I feel like they do. We
Fake
just don't
news.
realize it.
Fake news. It's all the rage these days. Just throw some fake news out there. Be like,
Why
yeah,
not?
it's his lower body. Because there was speculation that
Right.
his ankle was
And
completely
if he
messed
comes
up.
back and plays tomorrow, or they play tomorrow. If he comes back and plays, I mean, then they would be going
Which-
for his leg, not the big
There
hit
should be
to rattle him
no.
a bit.
There should be no reason
Yeah.
why he plays. The only reason he should play is possibly Game 6 or definitely in Game 7. I don't think he plays at. He should not be playing.
In
Even
this,
that.
in this situation, I don't feel like it's necessary. I mean, they just won without him, and they're up 3-1.
So
Going
maybe you
home,
know what? So maybe
if I'm not,
no,
if
they're
I'm not
going back to
going to Washington.
Washington.
Oh yeah, Game 5. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
I think okay. So I think honestly, if he wants to play the series, it should be if there's a Game 7. If not, rest him up
Yeah,
because you're going
For
to.
not
I'm
only-
sorry,
for
you're
not only
going to the
his
Eastern
sake-
Conference Finals.
Yeah.
I mean,
for not only his sake, not only the Penguins' sake for their run, NHL's sake, just to get people off their back.
Oh, absolutely.
About head injuries.
There was an interesting back and forth on NHL Network between Mike Johnson and I think John McClain. I'm not 100% sure. Don't hold me to it. They were talking about whether or not Crosby should play in Game 5.
Mhm.
Whether or not he should come back. And Mike Johnson made the point saying, listen, Sidney is cleared by the doctors.
That's true.
If he's cleared by the doctors, that means he's fine.
Which goes back to why say he has a concussion.
Right.
That was 2 days ago. that
Right.
You announced that.
Exactly.
And he's cleared already. I've never seen anybody come back from a concussion in less than a week.
Mhm. Which begs the point, like you just said, the NHL's been so bad
Mm-hmm.
about
Who's
Figuring
not to
out-
say that this doctor's just like, oh yeah, he's fine.
But are the Penguins that
Desperate.
stupid?
Yeah.
yeah.
Not even desperate, just stupid.
Stupid, yeah.
You're a superstar, you're a captain, the best player in the NHL. the best player in the past
in the world
20 years since Gretzky retired.
Yeah.
Like,
we'll see how McDavid does.
Yeah, you're gonna risk what is left in his career.
Not only that, you're gonna risk if they win the cup this year, you're gonna risk not going again next year. Absolutely. Or the year after. I mean, that team is scary good. They get all the bounces. Just these past 2 seasons. How could you jeopardize that?
If he's misdiagnosed, this could completely screw up the rest of his career.
Let's not even talk about jeopardizing the chance for another cup. Let's talk about the chance of Crosby living a normal, healthy life in the long run. Yeah.
Getting knocked out earlier than his career should have been. Like an Eric Lindros, like a Paul Kariya, and it's Sidney Crosby.
Yeah,
and you're gonna jeopardize the fans being able to see him work magic like he does.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys want to hear Bettman's comments about concussions? By the way, just to
kind of see what the NHL
guy
says. But
okay, we NHL talk, but we don't want to.
Okay, I mean, because I also want to point a funny fact. I searched Bettman concussion comments, and did you mean Batman concussion comment came up as on Google?
Yes.
How many times
the answer to that is always yes.
How many concussions has Batman caused?
Yeah,
that's the question.
But yeah, so it might be, if you guys want to hear it, it's probably a good pass because I think you guys would just get kind of infuriated.
Okay, let's pass it and let's talk about the Penguins' power play without Crosby.
Oh, wait, one more thing too. Let's remember, Sheary's out with a concussion too.
Yeah.
Anybody know about that? Does anybody truly know
that? Is he playing?
poor Connor Sheary.
Yeah.
I mean,
there was such a big thing, and then it's like, Crosby's out. No.
We just talked about how great this year he's having, and then nobody. Oh yeah, it was like Crosby's out
on the back burner,
and so does Sheary.
Yeah. Connor Sheary did too. But so the Penguins' power play without Crosby. I mean, it wasn't that great with him in the this series. The game 1 and game 2, they were 1 out of 5 with Crosby. Game 3, the first power play didn't happen until Crosby, the Niskanen penalty on Crosby, which is a 5-minute power play. And then game 4, they were 2 for 9 in those 2 games. I know they weren't that great before, but watching their power play without Crosby, they just, timing's off, entering the zone is off. Just everything is just so thrown off, and I just wanted to comment on that.
No, yeah,
you don't realize how everything runs through Crosby, or through your big power play guy on any team until that person's gone.
And a point I had too about Capitals that goes to that is they've been shorthanded 15 times this series. So I mean You're shorthanded that many times, and then but you're also losing the star player on there. I mean, I was going to talk about how that is kind of a little reason why they're struggling. I mean, they've only let up 2 goals shorthanded, but we can get into that when we start talking about Caps.
So in Game 4, Pittsburgh gets a early goal from Patrick Hornqvist, who I guess that's kind of retribution for laying out Connor Sheary.
Oh, Sheary.
Also, Crosby, number 1 draft pick that year. Patrick Hornqvist, the very last draft pick in that same year. That's awesome.
Once again, going back to
online together.
Going back to Pittsburgh,
that's awesome. Exactly.
Figuring it out. That Hornqvist goal, Orpik and Alsner, both kind of looked at each other as Hornqvist was splitting the both of them and kind of went,
"Okay,
you got him. I don't got him. Do you got him?" Like, what brutal defense. And then Braden Holtby gets backed up to his own goal line and does the chicken wing. Tries to throw the elbow up there instead of actually throwing his glove up.
Yeah, that was a bonus
like an idiot.
That was definitely a bonus swing.
So, Holtby, I gave you guys his stats on where he was scored on.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm going to update that. 17 out of 27 on his glove side. That's 63% of the goals are going to his glove hand. That's crazy.
Hey, Corey Crawford, what's going on, man?
Yeah, I know. And 10 out of 27, are going short side. So he's getting short side glove a lot. A lot.
Penguins figured him out.
Which, I mean,
The Penguins figuring
feel
it out,
like-
or just the defense just
Well,
bail
you know,
on
no.
them?
I feel like after 4 games, it's like, all right, maybe I should keep my glove up. Like, watch out for that short side shot on the glove hand. Like, it's not. I feel like he's overthinking
not rocket applied.
I
everything.
said
No.
the same thing about Crawford a couple of years ago when you were down my throat.
Yeah. Well, don't talk bad about your boy. Chaboy. I also totaled up all the Washington shots this series compared to Pittsburgh.
They've been
It's 142 to 94.
Yeah.
A differential of 48 shots. Averaging that per game is 35.5 to 23.5.
And you said that they were, what, short 15 times?
15 times.
Oh. And they're out shooting him by 50.
That's
And-
insane.
Oh,
That's
my
insane,
God.
and they're down 3-1.
Oh,
Does
no.
that talk to...
Marc-Andre Fleury.
Is that because the Pittsburgh Penguins are so good, or the Capitals have been that bad, or both?
Well, here's another thing.
Well,
I
would
feel
say
like it's
one,
both.
It's both. 2, that's like an Ovechkin type thing because he could throw 500 shots in a season and score 50. And everybody's
Ovechkin-
like,
Yeah,
he's got
but it
50.
doesn't help that he gets only 1 in Game 4.
Yeah.
Ovechkin is tied for 5th in the team in shots.
Really?
Yes.
Who has one?
He-
Justin Williams?
Tom Wilson.
Tom Wilson.
Yeah, Tom Wilson.
Tom Wilson.
No, Ovechkin only has 10 shots this series.
10 shots. That's your problem right there.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
10 shots.
that's
what was it?
terrible.
He's been
10,
bad.
10
He's been
shots,
bad.
1 goal, 3 assists.
Yeah.
Was that 2.2 a game? Am I doing that math correctly?
I'm feeling
Maybe.
laughing.
Yeah.
I think that's
I
fine.
math as
Yeah,
well as
whatever.
I can read.
Just
No.
brutal, though.
My mom listens to this.
Just brutal on Ovi's behalf, and maybe he's getting a little bit of punishment.
Third line.
I guess
Third
that's
line.
the wrong word for it, but
See,
Did you ever think you were going to see Ovi on
I
the
know,
line
just
with
like a slap to the
Wilson
face,
and
maybe.
others?
oh God, no! Oh, I mean, the way Wilson's playing, you gotta give him the bump. Seeing him on the third line though, makes me think back to, I believe it was game 2 or 3 against Toronto last series, when Toronto won, and I think he had like 12 or 15 minutes of playing time. Like, it was not much at all, and Toronto was all over the place. And Barry Trotz was like, yeah, I didn't realize how I wasn't playing him, and it didn't work out in our favor, so I need to fix that.
So, is this the right move? Moving down? Because when you're down 3-1. Because here's
One
two,
of the most natural goal scoring.
here's the
goal
two
scorers
things
in
I
the
look
wild.
at and why I'm wondering why, like, how this is not a good move in general. Yes, they can change lines throughout the game, but are you gonna have your top player, one of the best goal scorers in the NHL, playing third line minutes, or are you gonna have your third line playing Ovechkin minutes?
Well, do you really want to piss off your franchise player in Game 5 of a series when you're down 3-1? Do
But
you
looking-
really want to piss him off?
Looking back, I mean, they have never won a second round.
No, I mean,
They have to change something up. And I mean, when your first line is Ovechkin, you take him off, and you still have Backstrom and Oshie. And Backstrom's low key putting up points, and Oshie's having a great series. I feel like he's one of the only Capitals
should have kept Marty Egat.
playing. Yeah, for all those empty net Genos that he gets.
Man, it's a shame they never had like a Forsberg on their team.
Anyway,
But here, let's also note that he is still on their top play or power play line. They're not changing the power play with Ovechkin.
I mean,
Oh,
that's-
good, because the power play was doing so hot.
Yeah, good for them, man. Really, really
Yeah.
digging deep there, Barry Trotz.
I mean, if they lose this game tomorrow, regardless, okay, are we?
Do they go Hawks?
Is this series over?
The
The way
think
they're
it's over.
playing,
They're
like,
done.
okay. So, well, I'm just gonna
Stick
say
a fork
this.
in
I
it.
will say this for the reason: when this series ends and Pittsburgh moves on again 2 years in a row, Washington has been a Stanley Cup favorite since like 2010. They've been talking about how
First time they won, the
Washington,
president was,
is going to just walk away. At what point? Yeah, like you said, do they go Blackhawk, blow the team up? Or not? Even Blackhawk. I mean, do they blow the team up? Do they make moves?
I'm kind of
Do they-
surprised they haven't this far.
Yeah,
I mean,
Like where? Like at what point you're going through? Is it the second coach now?
Yeah.
In this
I mean
time
that's
span?
insanity.
Like,
Doing the same thing
third.
over and over and expecting different results.
don't forget about Adam Oates.
That's right. So your third coach.
It's got to be the coach. I'm telling you.
It's got to be the coach.
All those President's trophies, it's definitely the coach.
Because, I mean, how many... Washington has not had much turnover in the player situation.
But you know what? I don't know. Barry Trotz is such a great coach.
He's a great coach.
He's a great coach.
I love Barry Trotz.
And I got so much respect for him watching
Absolutely.
when they rode to the Winter Classic.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought for sure, like, when they got him as a coach, I thought, oh, damn, like, they're for real now. Like,
he was always right there with Nashville.
Oh, yeah.
But Nashville never had the team.
Right, they never had the team.
Exactly.
So, like,
and
you put his coaching on
and he still got
Washington.
that Martin Erat Nashville team to the playoffs.
Yeah.
But couldn't do it. Couldn't do it.
Oh, maybe he'll be the one to bring Marty back.
Yeah. Speaking of coaches in this series, Mike Sullivan picked up halfway through the season last year. Was there for 54 games last year. 33-16. They had 24 games in the playoffs last year. 16-8. They won the cup. That in the 82 games this year, they were 50-21. I'm not counting overtime losses, and they're 7-2.
So you're telling me Pittsburgh won 16 games in 24 games?
No, they lost 16 games and played 24.
They won 16.
He's talking about the playoffs. Last
Oh,
year.
they won.
Okay.
So you're telling me?
Yeah, 24-16 in everywhere, man.
Damn it.
But anyways, that's just
That's insane.
yeah.
That Mike Sullivan, a guy who was literally a nobody.
He was coaching the
Halfway through
WHL,
last
wasn't
season.
he?
I'm not sure. I don't.
He was
remember what
coaching
it was.
juniors, I believe.
But I was just looking. This same website shows 03-04 and 05-06. He was one of the coaches on the Boston Bruins, and I had absolutely zero idea about that. But I'm sick of talking about this stupid series.
But you know what?
I'm so done.
I'm sorry. It's probably the best.
It's the series
It's the
of
best.
this round.
I don't know. Edmonton, Anaheim.
Yeah.
I don't know about best series, but it has the
it's
most
like-
stories.
Oh,
coming out of this
absolutely.
round.
Absolutely.
The least amount of storylines. Ottawa, New York.
I don't know. That's starting to change now that Carlson's down. And I'm
Carlson's Jesus.
You know what?
Don't tell me Mick Jesus. Carlson Jesus.
No, McJesus.
I'm gonna rant.
All right, fine. Carlson God. That's fine.
I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna rant again. So move your beers
I'm gonna
away.
leave and go to bed.
Move your beers away. Erik Karlsson. All right, he might be at fault for this. I don't know, not at fault, but
For what? Saying,
Semi at fault.
talking about his injury?
talking about his injury, saying, "Yeah, I got a broken heel. Go ahead and do something." Chris Kreider, probably sitting at home, goes, "Ha! You watch, and see what happens." Chris Kreider, Game 4, in the second period, I believe New York is already up 3-0 at this point.
Yeah.
Comes around the back of the Ottawa net, slips and falls on virtually nothing. I get that ice is slippery, but you're an NHL hockey player. Like, skate. Be a normal human and skate. Goes and he takes out Karlsson from behind. The impact comes right on his broken heel. You are telling me that a guy like Chris Kreider, going back to what I said about goalie interference, that it should be handled exactly like a controversial hit where you look at history. You're telling me that Chris Kreider went and fell. I almost said slid.
Allegedly.
Fell right into the heels of Erik Karlsson. You're telling me that was completely on accident. Bull. Absolute bull. Chris Kreider is a scumbag. I freaking hate Chris Kreider.
He's the one that ran into Price, right?
Yes, he's the one that went feet first into Carey Price.
I mean,
he's all right. He scored.
Carlson's already struggling this series.
He didn't score.
There was no...
Deanne Phaneuf scored that goal for him.
No, last game.
Yeah, I know. Deanne Phaneuf scored that goal for him.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
I feel like Carlson's struggling enough in
Don't
this
hit me.
series with his injury that purposely taking somebody out like that is just dumb. But I don't know. That just is way too convenient of him to fall in that situation.
Yeah, I don't know. I missed the whole conversation, so I didn't put anything on it.
I don't know. I just think it's a scumbag move, and that I feel like it's so hard because Kreider could be like, "I'm sorry, I fell." Like, he
Don't
could
take
easily
pride.
say that. Yeah, like the ice is bad at the Madison Square Garden. We just had a basketball game or a concert here the other day.
Going back to him.
They got history of people complaining about Madison Garden Ice regardless, so he's got that in his favor.
Fuck New York. Except for the Islanders.
I don't know. I think that it's all far too coincidental, and that was on purpose, and that Kreider should probably have his head up for the remainder of the series.
So, but talking about Carlson, it was announced he is going to play Game 5.
He is?
Yes.
Awesome.
Because he's a damn beast.
Yeah.
Should he, though? I mean...
Absolutely he should.
It's complete opposite of Crosby.
Yeah.
Yep.
Ottawa needs Carlson.
Without Carlson, who do they even have on the back end? Dion and Cody Ceci. Sweet.
Anderson, obviously, because...
Yeah, because that's worked out for the past 2 days. All right.
Fair.
All right.
Fair.
Just a little about this series, this series being kind of quiet, but the Ranger fans chanting sloppy seconds with Dion Phaneuf.
Amazing. Can we go into the backstory
my
about that a little bit for anybody that
Just
doesn't
real quick.
know?
Real quick.
Yeah.
Sean Avery. I almost called him Steve Avery for some reason. I don't know why.
Doesn't matter. He's a piece
I
of
don't
shit.
know.
Yeah,
Give me another beer. Sean Avery
Cutting you off.
used to play on the New York Rangers. Sean Avery was
A purse lover.
He was a fourth line
a fourth line.
piece of shit.
Grinder. He did nothing other than just piss people off.
Yeah.
He has a
That
rule
was-
about him.
Yeah, he has the Sean Avery rule where he stood in front of Broder,
Right.
facing him, waving his sticks in his hands in front of Broder's face,
Which,
trying.
honestly, how did nobody think of doing that before? But
Because
that's hilarious.
nobody's that big of a dickhead to do it.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
How could nobody
But-
on their team just be like, "Oh, this is an opportunity, just to rip a slash out
Well,
of the
no,
back of
Chris
his leg"?
Chris Drury went up to him. He was backdoor, and Drury went up to him and was like, "Dude, you better knock that off, or something's gonna happen. I don't know what's gonna happen, but we're on a power play right now. You better knock that shit off, or else I'm gonna get pissed." So Sean Avery dated this girl who eventually broke up with him because who wants to
pretty
be
sure
with
it
Sean
was,
Avery? Pretty sure he's
She's
gay.
I can't think
Girl
of
next door.
Yeah, girl next door. She's
Whatever her name is.
Shit.
That smoke.
What is her name?
It doesn't matter. She's
Yeah.
smoked
No,
now.
she's a smoke
Doesn't
show. She's
matter.
gonna be in Goon too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she ends up dating Dion Phaneuf, and they ended up getting married, I believe.
Yes, they're
For a
married.
Yeah.
No, they're married.
Are they still
Yeah,
married?
they're
Yeah.
still currently married.
Still married, and as soon as Sean Avery heard about Dion and this girl dating,
I think it was in an interview.
Yeah.
They asked him about it.
yeah, and he said something along the lines of, "I don't care. He can have my sloppy seconds."
Yeah.
Yes.
So, New York Ranger fans,
First game, Phaneuf was back in New York following those comments. Every time Phaneuf touched the puck, all you heard was sloppy seconds. Fun fact, Rangers lost that game.
Yeah, but they chanted sloppy seconds this game.
Yeah.
They won.
Alicia Cuthbert.
Yes. There we go.
I just heard smoke show.
Yeah, she was also in Old School.
Yes, she was.
Yeah, she was the kid, yep.
So yes, that was absolutely hysterical. Also, another thing that they were chanting USA while things were getting a little chippy at the end.
Do
I
they
think
have an American on their team? Ryan McDonough. I lied. I'm sorry.
Right.
I figured it out myself. He's
I
the
just-
captain.
I guess we can edit
The
that.
USA the USA chants in hockey to me just blow my mind considering that most of these teams are
Mhm.
There's
not
not many
Americans.
Americans.
Yeah,
Which-
like
I slapped myself in the face with that one comment, so we'll get past it. Ducks Oilers.
Well, you know what? It kind of ties in.
Yeah.
In New York, chanting USA while people are beating the shit out of each other on the ice, while across the pond up in Edmonton,
There's no
Poor
Canada.
national
Canada and US are connected.
Yeah,
What
There's
on
no
earth?
boundaries.
You know what I mean.
We get it. You went to Europe. Stop bringing it up. But yeah,
Up in Canada,
they're
I think we
singing,
touched on it last.
yeah,
episode,
they're singing
but
our
they're
national
singing-
anthem.
right? They
for
sang
us.
our national anthem for us, so that just shows you the difference
bunch of
between
Schwedes out there.
Canadians
Just a
and
couple, a bunch of
Americans.
Schwedes. So I just have a question.
Yeah.
Edmonton.
Yeah.
Are you worried?
I'm going back to what we said earlier. I don't know what the fuck can happen. I think I would be surprised if Edmonton won. I would be surprised if Edmonton lost.
I feel like I wouldn't be surprised with either.
Like,
could fucking
anything
happen
like-
in the series. I mean, you got
It's
Draisaitl having a great playoff altogether. McDavid doing McDavid things. Last game,
He's-
that first period, he was unbelievable all
absolutely.
over the place. It was unbelievable.
Talk about
He should
sticking
have
with
had
the rebound.
more than just one goal.
His
Past
goal.
couple of games, he started to be a lot more like McDavid.
Yeah.
He needed this postseason, I think, to just take him to that next level.
Absolutely.
Exactly. That's why I did not have them going past the Ducks, just because of the inexperience, which was kind of like a Leafs thing, where you need the experience to go further the next year.
We talked about it last podcast, just him with Kessler.
Yeah,
That-
which I had pointed out right here, and it's awesome because last game I really focused in on it, and he was not backing down whatsoever against Kessler. Kessler was all over him.
Oh,
He
yeah.
was just giving it back to him,
Yeah.
which was so cool to see, because fuck Ryan Kessler.
A good point you made between the differences between the two teams. Anaheim more of a veteran team, Edmonton more of a youngster team. Really saw the difference between that in Game 4. In Game 3, Ducks blew a 3-0 lead.
Yep.
Right? They came
Came
back
and won.
48 seconds later, scored, made it 4-3. Edmonton, up 2-0 in Game 4, blows that 2-goal lead and kind of sat there and went, oh shit.
Yeah, they lost,
Oh shit. Well, they ended up tying it up and forcing it to overtime, which I didn't think they were going to do.
but they lost. But that
But
was
they ended
another,
up losing,
that was
yes.
another thing. That game, just game of turnovers for Edmonton.
Oh.
That game-winning goal. Just
What is Adam Larson
threw
doing?
it around the boards. Hey, bring Taylor Hall back.
On the backhand? You're
Yes.
going to try and clear that
It goes
on the
straight
backhand?
to Getzlaf. Getzlaf throws it back door to Silverberg.
Awesome.
And on Pokes' goal of the game, that first goal for the Ducks,
That was a giveaway.
at relay, weak, back
Yep.
end, he had Nugent Hopkins, he going up to the middle, get it out, just softly throws it up the back.
Eberle, only 2 assists in the postseason. Ryan Pugin Hopkins, 3 assists
First overall.
in the postseason. Eberle's is a -4 and Nugent is a -3.
Which,
Or I'm sorry, a -1.
I just think
-1.
it's funny that Edmonton gets four first overall picks, trade away 2 of them, and all they needed was McDavid to make the playoffs and make it to the second round of the playoffs. They're on the equivalent of Washington Capitals right now.
Mm-hmm.
Everlay's being called out by his coach.
Yep. As he should be.
I mean, and his name's been in trade rumors already. Are
Which
his days?
he could
Both
be-
him and Nugent.
Yeah. Are there? I
Nugent
mean,
Hopkins is a joke.
are their days numbered? Is this postseason kind of maybe the final nail in
Eberle
the
has
coffin?
so much skill that he isn't using. He could be not as good as McDavid, but he could put up his own set of numbers that are McDavid-like.
I just thought of this now. Do you think one of those guys maybe gets
Exposed?
exposed?
Why not?
Possibly.
I wouldn't put.
That's definitely
wouldn't-
bait for Vegas for them.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't
Okay.
put Eberle in there because
I mean,
Eberle's a
Nugent
good.
Hopkins.
He's a good hockey player.
Well, here,
Eberle's great.
his
He's not
numbers-
showing it right now.
his numbers are still great, but I mean,
Yeah.
they're going down.
Nugent Hopkins though hasn't done anything.
13-14,
No.
Eberle put up 65 points. 14-15, 63. Last season, 47.
And those were on dog shit hockey teams.
And this year, 51. He only played
he went
69
down.
games
Yeah,
last
he
year,
was-
too.
What about
Yeah.
this year?
All 82.
Did he really?
Yes.
That's kind of upsetting.
Since 13-14, he only 13-14 missed 2 games. 14-15 missed 1. I'm not going to do the math. He
Yeah.
only played 69 games in 15-16, and last year he missed nothing. Or the season he missed nothing.
Interesting.
I think he might be he might benefit change of scenery.
He could. Colorado.
Gross.
Um,
I wanna harp on Ryan Pugin Hopkins a little bit for just 1 second more. On that the goal that gave the Ducks the lead. Puck hops out in front of the net, and he sits there and he stick handles twice in front of his own net, and Getzlaf goes, "Ha, thanks, bud,"
yeah.
and 2 hands it into the net. What are you doing,
Yeah.
Ryan Nugent Hopkins?
Which
They sat Eberle for quite a long time. Ryan Nugent Hopkins should not have seen the ice for the rest of the game.
Yeah. Which kind of goes into just Getzlaf.
Oh!
Yeah.
He's
But
having
before-
a fucking playoff of old right now.
But
After
real
a
quick-
season.
Real quick, Eberle and Nugent Hopkins are both making $6 million.
Oh my God! Why are they paying Nugent Hopkins that much?
After this year's got 2 more, and Nugent Hopkins is signed until through the 2021 season.
That's a
Oh
terrible
my God,
deal.
Shoot both your feet.
I would
Singleton.
rather have Bickle. That Bickle contract.
Oh my
yeah,
God.
it's $2 million.
That's
less.
terrible.
Yeah.
But no, Getzlaf. Game 4 numbers alone: 2 goals, 2 assists. His 2 goals helped him pass Tino Solani for most goals in franchise history with 36. This postseason, he's had 13.7 goals.
Unreal.
Talk about a man on a mission.
And
Unreal.
Conn Smythe.
Second best sauce of the postseason.
Second best, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Second best.
And behind a guy who has a broken foot.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I had 2 other things about this series. One, Zach Cassian's chops are unbelievable.
Yes!
Zach Cassian, you are a beauty for those. I love it.
I want them to go to the final.
Just to see how
Far it gets.
He might be trimming it up, but I know his last game in Anaheim. Edmonton, I'm sorry.
I was gonna say it wasn't.
Every time somebody on the Ducks got a penalty, everybody in Edmonton around the bench had white gloves on and were just rubbing the glass all around the Anaheim player, and I just thought it was hilarious, and it just made me think of how great it is that fans around the glass come up with that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Not to bring it up, but those green men in
Who
Vancouver,
retired,
Okay.
which I hate.
They retired this
They're
year.
funny
But
though.
those were so funny, and like just people who come up with the signs in the near the penalty box, like good for you guys, man. That's great. I
Do
think
you
that's
guys
awesome.
remember the girl in Vancouver?
I was going to say it was Newski. It was
Eager.
Eager.
Ben Eager.
Yes. Flashed her. Is that what you're
was
talking
it
about?
Ben Eager?
It was
Yeah.
Ben Eager.
I thought it was Rafi Torres.
No, it was Ben
No.
Eager.
Oh, it was Ben Eager. Okay.
Yeah, fuck Rafi Torres. He shouldn't see.
And he just
No.
had the smile on his face, like, yeah, sure, do this whole game if you want.
Cheers.
And the picture, the screen cap of it is him literally turned towards, and he's got this little smile on his face. It's like, all right, neat.
That's great.
Neat.
And then I just watched a video too of Ty Domi fighting a fan in the penalty box. Man, times have changed.
Good old.
What
penalty
was that
box
fan
fight.
thinking?
Oh God.
Yeah, Ty Domi. Come on, bud.
What a terrible
Come on.
idea.
Ty Domi, Bob Probert, yeah.
Best
just
part of
let
that
them-
video, though, is the announcer going, "Watch the lawsuit, Ty. Watch the lawsuit."
All right, so the
Nash.
last series, Nashville, St. Louis, which
As-
St. Louis just won
2-1,
Mm-hmm.
to make it 3-2.
3-2.
3-2. I still say this
they
one's
still
done.
have a chance?
No,
Yeah.
this one is still done.
Yeah, Nashville.
My first little point here is this series is starting to get nasty.
Oh God.
Oh god.
It's starting to get nasty.
All right, why don't
You
you
guys.
Why don't you go sit down in Smashville?
You're done for this.
You're smashed, bud. Stop drinking the beers and get so smashed.
You don't gotta be a dick about it.
During the game, they showed a stat about Ryan Ellis having a 7-game point streak.
Which I think ended tonight.
Probably.
Yeah.
No, it didn't.
No?
No, he got a power play point.
Did he?
Him and Ryan Yossi got assists on that goal by Neil.
Alright, I'm going to verify it real quick.
I'm
just to
pretty
make sure.
positive.
Yeah.
I know Yossi did for sure. But yeah, that's unreal, which just shows that Nashville's top 4 have to be the best in the league right now.
If you could
No,
have picked,
yeah, no.
No, he didn't. Who was it?
Subban and Yossi.
Subban. Okay, I'm sorry.
if you
So
could
it
have
did
picked
end.
So it did end.
one out of the 4 defensemen to have a streak like that, who would have thought it was going to be Ryan Ellis?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Nobody.
Are you kidding?
Yossi and then Subban probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy. Did you guys follow Mike Commodore on Twitter?
I
Correct.
don't because
Only around trade deadline time.
yeah.
Only
I just
around-
like the
okay.
hashtag pack your shit.
Yeah.
I was scrolling through Twitter, and when James Neal nipped Jake Allen,
Oh.
which was filthy. Number 1, great shot from James Neal. Number 2,
Jake Allen.
Jake
what's
Allen,
up,
what are you
man?
doing? Wake up, bud. It's a 1-1 hockey game. Or 1-0 at that point. He kept on tweeting. About 2 minutes before that, Neal hit the post on the power play.
Right.
And he tweeted out something around real deal James Neal almost cashes in. And then Neal scores, and in all caps, it's just, real deal James Neal! I was cracking up because I just had this image in my head of Commodore back in 2005 with the big afro and the big beard just going, real deal James Neal!
That's
Can we
fantastic.
just mention how great social media is for
Oh.
NHL players now?
Amazing.
God.
And I mean,
What a great invention.
Vegas. They're killing it already with the Twitter game.
God, Vegas.
Oh God, I saw one. It was, I think I sent it to you guys. The roster, because they just signed their second guy, and their roster was their 2 guys, and then everybody else was just guy.
I like how we're trying very hard to avoid, because I know I can't say that guy's name.
Shitbox, is that what you said?
Shipping off?
John Street?
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. Honestly, though,
This series is
St.
over.
Louis wins today. This one's done, though. There's no way.
It's going back to Nashville now.
It's
too,
going
so.
back to Nashville.
It's a matter of not win.
They are 4-0 at home. Absolutely not. No way.
Yeah, this Nashville,
I
I
don't
think
know.
we're going to be the next game. It's not. I don't see this going 7.
Which
I don't see it going. Yeah, no.
Yeah, it's going to be game 6.
quick.
Which good for them.
Oh,
for
yeah.
St. Louis to get to game 6.
I didn't think they were going to win this one.
No,
Yeah.
I didn't either.
Quick little shout out to one of the Padres on the squad, Mr. Brian Nolan's dad, Kev
Who's
Nolan.
Is that Nolly?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Nolly.
Sorry,
Okay.
Brian with a Y, Nolan. Sir Kev Nolan begs the question: why are people sleeping on Nashville? Which is a great question.
I think he actually said, "Is Nashville for real?"
I thought he was the one that said, "Why are people sleeping on Nashville?"
No,
No,
our
somebody-
buddy Tanner said,
Was
Why
it
is people
Tanner?
sleeping on Ottawa?
Ottawa.
Ah,
Which,
So-
I mean...
We can get into
it's
that.
basically the
Yeah.
same question though.
But Nashville, fuck, I think they are for real. Me and him keep talking about it, and he's asking if they're for real because they've played the Hawks, who had their defense was atrocious. They did not play well. They swept them in 4.
This is true.
And
I mean, they're
St.
not...
Louis is not that great of a team. So when they play an Edmonton who is fast, which Nashville's been fast, and Edmonton can match their speed, or a gritty team like Anaheim that's been there before.
I really don't
Do they
see.
stand a chance?
No, I really don't see Nashville beating anybody like Edmonton or Anaheim.
Or does
I
Edmonton
don't
and Anaheim
truly
go
don't.
7
I mean-
games of them just starting to beat the shit out of each other, and
happen.
That's a
they
good
just,
point as
they
well.
just sneak.
Yeah.
Nashville just sneaks
Yeah.
in on that point.
They could have.
Put a little
They
asterisk.
potentially could have an easy road to the cup.
Yeah.
God, what?
Which,
I would
going
hate
back to
I
it,
would-
if
oh,
Pittsburgh and whoever wins
It's-
New York, Ottawa, I mean, they could rough each other up after the Pens and Caps rough each other up. Going on to that, if Pens go to the final, I mean, Pens could be roughed up.
I know. If you want to get into that right now,
No, I don't want
okay.
to.
I was gonna say,
It is-
We'll say that.
It's a
I'm just saying.
funny point that you say that Nashville could have an easy road to the final. When in the first round they had to go through the Blackhawks, which
But
is
it was
like
easy. It was a
when
sweep.
is that ever? An
I know,
easy
but like
route?
again, it goes back
No,
to
they
this on
swept
paper.
them.
Who besides
Ugh.
Nashville fans and Steve Dangle
Said
could
Nashville
have
would even
said
win.
Nashville would even come out of that
Yeah.
series?
Brutal. Just
But all right,
freaking Hawks.
yeah. Before we start drinking heavily even more.
Yeah, I know.
I think it's about that time, boys.
Yeah, we're gonna go into our second edition of Riding Pine.
You're riding the pine pony, pal.
Yeah. Never gets old.
Never gets old. All right, question number 1 from Sean Grady on Facebook. Does it make you less of a man to use an intermediate flex?
No,
No.
no,
No.
I want to. I want to try it. One,
I-
because sticks are so much cheaper than seniors, and 2, Johnny fucking Hockey uses
Johnny
intermediate.
Hockey.
Yeah, I know.
Uses a 55.
Yeah, but
flex.
also he looks intermediate. He
I
looks
know,
like
but
an intermediate
still.
person. I would say no also because I was using a 75 flex, and I mean that's as close as it's not intermediate, but
Yeah.
it's close. And I had such a wicked wrister with it.
I want to just find a cheap
But I snapped
intermediate,
9
like
of them.
55, 60 flex. Just
You
to see.
cannot, you cannot take slap shots because I snapped 9 of them.
I can't take a.
So
I can't take slash shots now, so I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
I'd be okay.
that's fair.
Question number 2 from our good friend Tanner.
Rolly the goalie.
Rolly the goalie. What is your go-to drink during the playoffs?
Depends.
I would like to say location is key.
Yes.
Location is key.
Mostly Labatt's Ferda. If we're at the lake watching it on a jumbo screen, Shandy's for
Shandy's.
days.
Shandy's.
Yeah,
Shandy's for
that's a
days.
great call.
And if it's Game 7 against LA and
Anything
it's double
Jameson.
overtime, Jameson.
Anything hard.
Oh man, we went through that whole
Yeah.
handle of Jameson that game. That was
a long
absolutely
one.
ridiculous.
I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna shout out my Sandberg coaches.
Why? I thought you weren't gonna.
I changed my mind.
Sorry, bud. Don't unfollow me.
Yeah. Prairie Fire Shots, which is basically
Oh, your Tabasco shit.
tequila with
Tequila.
a little Tabasco. A couple drops of Tabasco in it, which it kills the burn of the
Don't you-
tequila.
Don't you hate spicy?
Which I do, which is why I take it with a lime. Yeah. It kills the burn, but the next day the heartburn is unreal. This one I think I'm going to direct just to Zach, if you're all right with that,
I
Brian.
mean,
'cause
whatever, dude. I don't want
I
to
don't-
talk
I don't-
about it anyway.
I don't know anything about this subject.
No, I don't either. I don't care either.
From Chris, oh boy,
Seto.
Aceto. Thank you. Chris
Yeah, I got
Aceto
it.
on Facebook. Who do you have winning the Derby? Zach. I know nothing about horses. All I know is that
I
people
got-
show up in big hats.
I got-
And
And
you
also-
I got
quite a bit of notes over there.
Hey,
so
bud,
I'm
we've
gonna let
already
you have
gone
the
long
mic.
enough, so just give one word.
It's
answer.
gonna be no. I'm gonna go really quick because you know what? I'm going to try to go Eddie O and prove him wrong.
I thought you didn't like Eddie.
No, I don't. That's why I said prove him wrong.
Not everybody on the panel doesn't like Eddie O. So.
Just one person does.
No, I
Just
don't like
one,
him.
you know?
I don't like
I
his
really like
horse
Eddie.
race. I don't like his horse racing stuff. But this year is tight. It's tough. It's a wide open field, very sloppy track. It's probably a safe bet to go on McCracken, who's coming at 6-1. Upset potential, Practical Joke, who's coming 33-1. A nice little penny on that one. 13 horse, J-Boy Echoes. In the last 25 races, 19% or 32% of the time, they have finished in the money. So you might want to look at him. And the one that I'm going to put money on, and everybody should, is Patch, who's coming in 13-1. He's got one eye. Who doesn't want a one-eyed horse to win the Kentucky Derby?
Is he gonna? Which eye is it? Because I mean, maybe he runs in the wrong circle.
Yeah, but the funny thing is, his name was Patch before he lost his eye. So,
Patches of Houlihan.
yeah, but yeah, I mean, anybody, you can really flip a coin, throw a dart, whatever, and you could potentially land on a winner.
Hack a dart.
Hack a dart.
Hack a dart.
But yeah, so that's my Derby picks.
All right.
That was great.
Next
It's like you're
podcast, you can listen how much money I lost.
It's like you're speaking another language to me,
Yeah.
man.
All I heard was funny
Crazy.
names. I don't know. But all right,
Yeah.
that wraps her up.
Yeah. Thanks for sticking around, and
Episode Trace is in the books.
yeah,
On Cinco de Mayo.
Cinco de Mayo.
we will see you for episode 4. Thanks for joining us here, guys.
And don't forget to get some more questions into
Yes,
us.
hashtag Riding Pine on Twitter. You can also submit them on Facebook or on Instagram.
If you're
Literally,
feeling
we don't
ballsy,
care.
Just slide into
Slide
that.
in my DMs.
Slide in those
I
DMs.
am
We don't
Instagram
care
man.
where you go.
If
And-
you're interested.
And if you
Yeah.
know us and you want to ask something, just text or just ask.
Don't be shy.
Just call.
I mean, if you
Don't
don't
be
my
shy.
number so you can text, that's fine.
So here's my number.
Hey, don't do
All
it.
right, we're done.
All right, yeah, that's it.
All right, bye everybody.
Follow the guys on Twitter at WCBP, on Instagram, WCB Podcast, and like them on Facebook, the Windy City Benders Podcast. The Windy City Benders Podcast.